Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. The damage is intensifying from Donald Trump's trade war, and now hundreds of thousands of U.S. farmers are getting annihilated. The worst carnage involves soybean farmers. Soybeans are America's #1 agricultural export. China is the world's #1 consumer of soybeans, and a year ago, in the second quarter of 2024, China bought over $3.1 billion worth of U.S. soybeans. This year, in the second quarter, in response to Donald Trump's tariffs, zero.
Of the soybeans that American farmers produce, 25% currently have been going to China. And right now, we have zero sold for this crop that's starting to be harvested right now. So it's a five-alarm fire for our industry that 25% of our total sales is currently missing.
U.S. soybean farmers could conceivably find other buyers. However, to grow their crops, U.S. farmers rely on countless foreign-made products, including fertilizers, pesticides, seeds, and farming equipment. All of those inputs made outside of the United States cost farmers more now because of the Trump tariffs. The end result is that U.S. soybeans are more expensive than soybeans from U.S. competitors.
Right now, we are not price competitive with Brazil due to the retaliatory tariffs that are in place. Our prices are about 20% higher, and that means that the Chinese are going elsewhere because they can find a better value.
Other consumers of soybeans are going elsewhere too, and it's causing an economic disaster in small towns and communities across the United States.
American soybean farmers and their families are suffering. There's 500,000 of us that produce soybeans, and we desperately need markets, and we need opportunity, and we need a level playing field so we can compete, because we grow a great product, but we have to be price competitive as well. And there's an artificial barrier that is built with these tariffs that makes us not be competitive.
And so stocks of soybeans are getting enormous. The products are sitting in giant steel containers, not going anywhere. And the glut is causing prices to drop for the soybean that is sold to U.S. consumers and food industry businesses. That's great for consumers, terrible for producers.
Right now, the Chicago price is a little over $10 for a bushel of soybeans, but there's places in North Dakota where the basis is $1.70 under the market. So their soybeans are only worth a little over $8. And cost of production for a bushel of soybeans varies farm to farm, but it's around $12 per bushel. And soybean farmers are going to experience huge losses this year. The farm economy is already struggling due to many factors, including high cost of production, which tariffs are impacting as well.
Some farmers, desperate to bring in more revenue, are now trying to get creative. There's been an explosion of farms listed as Airbnb vacation rentals. Some farmers are setting up mazes in the fields to try and attract paying tourists. But for most soybean farmers, the math doesn't work.
Soybean farmers have a huge amount invested. An Airbnb is not going to help a farmer that's looking at losing $1 million or huge numbers. I mean, right now, it's predicted soybean farmers can lose $200 or more per acre on this crop. A farmer like myself, we have 1,200 acres of soybeans. That's $240,000 of loss. That's a whole lot of Airbnb and other alternative forms of income. We have long-term investments that are made in infrastructure, in land, in equipment, and this is not an industry that you just enter and exit on a whim. We have huge long-term financial commitments, and we just need the markets to be there. We have worked to develop the Chinese market as an industry for over 40 years, and it's been a wonderful relationship. We simply don't need artificial barriers put up. I also want to note soybeans are the #1 agriculture export for our country. This is huge for the economy of our country as a whole, and also for the rural communities that we represent.
But those communities are suffering, and this disaster created by the Trump administration has been driven by politics, not principle. Donald Trump and his team hailed the tariffs as a bold economic weapon to fight China's trade practices. But the trade war is ricocheting on the very people Trump had pledged to help, farmers and other rural Americans. This trade war is breaking their backs, wrecking their markets, and giving foreign competitors an open runway. And again, the numbers don't lie. U.S. soybean exports to China have dried up. Not slowed down, dried up. Farmers are halfway through the peak shipping season, and there has not been a single order from China. That is unprecedented. And don't buy the spin that China will come back when they need us. China is locking in long-term deals with Brazil and other suppliers that may shut us out for good. And we're not just losing sales, we are losing trust. Suddenly, our soybeans, once a staple in Chinese animal feed, are too expensive to compete. The tariffs make American soybeans a losing deal. This isn't America first, it is America off the market. And who's paying the price? Not Donald Trump or his family or members of the Trump administration. It's the family farmer in Iowa who's watching his bins fill up with unsold grain. It's the co-op manager in Nebraska laying off workers. It's the truckers and processors and fertilizer dealers seeing business dry up. For every tariff, there is a ripple effect, and it's reaching deep into rural America. And here's the kicker. These tariffs were not strategic. They were reactive, ego-driven, and slapped together without a clear plan for what came next. There was no long-term roadmap, no safety net for farmers, no credible exit strategy. It was tariffs today, tweets tomorrow, and farmers left in the dust. This isn't policy, it's political theater. And the audience that's suffering the most is the very base that once rallied behind this Trump administration. Rural America was promised strength and stability. What they've gotten has been chaos and contempt. So here's the message to Donald Trump, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and others in this Trump administration still pushing tariffs like they are a patriotic badge of honor. Go talk to a soybean farmer who has lost his biggest customer. Ask him if he feels protected. Ask if winning includes stockpiles of unsold beans and futures mortgaged to Brazilian supply chains. Then ask yourself, when will someone in the Trump administration have the guts to admit that these tariffs have been a mistake? The bottom line is that the Trump tariffs are punishing the wrong people. They were a clumsy, costly blunder. And the longer they stay in place, the more damage they do. Enough is enough. If we as Americans still believe in free markets, fair trade, and standing by the people who feed this country, then it's time to end the tariff war and fix this mess that Donald Trump made. Speaking of messes, the Trump-Epstein scandal is about to explode again. Congress will soon have the signatures needed to force a vote on releasing all of the files.
I admire Congressman Massey's courage. I admire Nancy Mace's courage, Marjorie Taylor Greene's courage, Lauren Boebert's courage. They are standing with survivors. We have the votes. Let's get a vote this month and get the files released.
The pressure that's on the House of Representatives right now is going to go to the Senate after this passes the House. I think we're going to get a resounding vote on this.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Looney, who wrote, "I don't care what party they're in. If they are in the files, investigate, prosecute, and jail them." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump destroying U.S. farmers as his trade war keeps backfiring. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.